In 2008, we created a new brand called Yacht Shine. Obviously, we were targeting that market. On yachts, huge teak decks, thousands of board feet of teak that need to be cleaned regularly. The captains, the owners, the charter guests demand that they look perfect, or as close to perfect as can be. Those with teak trim on their recreational boats, many take good care of it. But the teak maintenance products that are on the market, many of them are really harsh. We wanted to come up with a solution that did the job beyond satisfaction, that also did not contribute any harsh chemistry to the wood, and no matter what port you were in, when you rinsed it off, that overboard discharge into whatever waterway you're in is doing no harm, zero harm to the waterways and to the life underwater. And we accomplished just that. We created the Teak maintenance system. It's a trio of products: teak cleaner, teak sealer, marine soap. Let me elaborate. The Yacht Shine Teak Cleaner, single part, ready to use, contains no harsh acids, no harsh chemicals. In fact, it is green. The application is very simple. You apply it to the teak, you scrub cross grain, and you rinse. Works like a champ. However, because of the air pollution and soot from the exhaust and a host of other contributing factors, teak gets dirty quick. If there was a way to seal it, where the dirt could not penetrate into the grain, where the dirt would reside only on the surface, that was a challenge that we sought, and we accomplished the remedy for that with the Yacht Shine Teak Sealer. It's a water-based product. Again, I'm not beating the green drum here, folks, but it is green. When you apply it to freshly cleaned or new teak, it settles into the grain. It doesn't lay on the top like a coating. It settles into the grain and forms a subsurface barrier that prevents deep grain soiling. I remember down in Fort Lauderdale, I had to go to see a boat on Marina Mile, and it was right in line with the Fort Lauderdale airport. And there was one jet after another landing and taking off, and then a railroad. And there was diesel engines going by all the time. And then Route 95 was right there too. And I mean, I saw guys in the boatyard with particle masks on, and they weren't painting or sanding. I asked one of them, I said, how come? And he says, man, if we don't wear this stuff, we're inhaling all that stuff all day long. And he took off his mask and he showed me. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. He only had it on for a couple hours, and it was already gray, just from inhaling the particulates that got trapped, so he didn't breathe them in. So that stuff's landing on the boats, landing on the teak. Then it rains in the afternoon, it forces that into the wood. Next thing you know, you gotta use aggressive cleaners again to clean it. So with the Yacht Shine Teak Sealer, it penetrates into the grain, forms that subsurface barrier, so whatever particulates are in the air, and we can't do anything about that, it's going to land on the surface, but it's not going to go deep grain, because this will protect it from that. All you have to do is clean the surface. Now, the Teak Sealer has two vulnerabilities. One are pH values of cleaning products: acidic, alkaline. High acidic, high alkaline will disrupt the protection that the Yacht Shine Teak Sealer gives. The other is just normal biodegradation, which happens to you, me, and everything else under the sun. The routine washdowns that many of the yachts do and many recreational boaters do, if you use a pH neutral product on your teak that's been sealed with the Yacht Shine Teak Sealer, there is nothing that's going to disrupt it. It will remain intact until it biodegrades, and depending on where you are and the severity of the UV and the climate will determine how often you should reapply. But that pH neutral routine wash down cleaner is the Yacht Shine Marine Soap. Not only is it a really fabulous soap, but it has a secret ingredient that makes routine wash down about 30% faster, as well as leaving something behind that also prevents soiling. I can't get into the gory details, but it does. That's the system. You clean it, you seal it, and you routinely wash it down. You never have to use the harsh chemicals again. If you're in a really serious area where you have that particulate problem, like maybe the Marina Mile in Fort Lauderdale, maybe once a year you're going to have to get harsh, but it's unpredictable and in many cases unnecessary. It's your call. But the system works. There was an article written in Power and Motor Yacht magazine by the executive editor of the magazine, Captain Bill Pike. I don't know if you've ever read any articles by Captain Bill Pike, but he calls it the way he sees it. And the article was in Power and Motor Yacht in the yard section of the magazine, and I believe it was May of 2011. If you get a chance to read it, that's great. If you want to, you can go to the website and look up Teak Cleaner, Teak Sealer, and you'll see it as available, and you can click on it and read it as a PDF attachment. But he went on to say that it did exactly what he wanted it to do. And he wanted his decks to be natural looking. The Teak Sealer dries clear. It doesn't have any tint. It doesn't have anything that's going to make the wood stay tan, like freshly cleaned teak that's still damp. It won't do that. It'll dry clear. The teak will become or retreat to its natural, and I stress natural, silver patina. The silver is the actual God-given protection that teak does for itself. It's actually building like a little screen or a little shield against pollution and particulates. So that silver is natural. When it's gray and lines of black, that's just the pollution and such that's on there. But a lot of people don't want that silver. They think that that's not right. But it is natural. But we've been in search of, not search of, but we've been trying to create a tinted teak sealer, one that will sustain for a sufficient period of time. And I think we're on to something. We've had 3 different attempts at it, and neither one would I bring to market because I'm very, very picky about what comes out. And if it doesn't make me happy, it certainly won't make you happy. But I think we're on to something. This is the new tinted Yacht Shine Teak Sealer. There's definitely a contrast. This was done 66 days ago, and it's been outside the entire time, and it's been exposed to all the elements. It's been snowed on, rained on, sunned on, etc., etc. After 66 days, there is still a discernible tint to the wood versus here that was without protection. The application is super easy. It's the same as this application. You simply brush it on, spread it out, and let it dry. That's all there is to it. I'm going to show you how the system works right now.